instead, because for example, like my trust in certain things in life has obviously been there, but I don't trust not to have this financial lack, right? Which is why I've kind of embodied that, which I think was part of my hermetic journey. But at the same time, I think I have to start trusting and believing that abundance is there as well. I just have to, and I kind of think that's, for all of us, you know what I'm saying, in
Yeah.
that way. So that's why I just kind of try and work on myself in that flow state, and like I say, stop not focus on what I'm lacking.
Yeah, me too.
James, when you shared about being before your time, I think a lot of us can relate to when you, like, if I do something, usually I'm like 5 years ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I made my first van, there was nobody was living in vans, and I was living and went out on adventures living in a van, right? So if my art is the same as me, then I would have to wait 5 years for whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm only curious about what I haven't done before, and I won't really be witnessed for it because I call that a beyonder. I know that, maybe the
Mm-hmm.
vocabulary of being a beyonder would be somebody that has exited and doesn't have a birth certificate or is, not on the radar. But I think there's another form of a beyonder. So I'm thinking that the creativity of what you're doing, it's like you're before it. So you're trying to do something that's before even the AI is ready for what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
We're
that's where
outsider artists, so we're supposed to be somewhat eccentric and ahead of our time, I think. And
Yeah. It's also about sacrifice too. But it's such a fine line. I know you guys get this, right? But it's such a fine line. And where I'm at now is that if I shouldn't be doing this if I'm not enjoying it. I shouldn't. And I don't enjoy
it's the journey, not the destination, right?
Yeah, there you go, Deb. And because that's where you want it. That's where you always are. You don't have a choice. You're going to have to be there anyway. That's really where all creatrix would have to come from. So why front? Why front and say, I'm going to pretend to enjoy being creative after enough people see this and tell me how amazing it is? That point will never happen. It'll never ever come.
What part of the brain do you think is like, where are you, like, is that future oriented, that you want that accolade or something, but it really would never be there? It would always be in the moment.
Yeah, most of your frontal lobe.
Happens.
Yeah, because your frontal, but keep in mind your frontal lobe is just pulling from your hindbrain about, well, what happened to me last time, right? So it is the frontal lobe, but keep in mind all it's doing is just pulling from your past and going, hey, well, what happened last time you wrote a book? What happened? And I can't say that all. Honestly, the first time I wrote a book, I was amazed because one person was like, what the fuck? Somebody bought my book?